Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. Firstly, a drone strike has been conducted in the Amhara region. Strike was conducted today on a Saturday, reportedly. Who was the target? How precise was the strike? I have received a clip from the area showing the aftermath of the drone strike. Secondly, is Ethiopia importing fertilizer from Egypt? Ethiopia and Egypt are arch rivals, but pictures are in circulation. And secondly, is Ethiopian government selling expired fertilizer to farmers? Thirdly, viewers, the USAID officials are warning that millions could die, especially in Ethiopia, if US aid programs are terminated. They have been terminated. I have a clip for you of a USAID official. She specifically briefed about the situation in Ethiopia. Let's start with firstly, a drone strike was conducted today in the Amhara region. Uh, we saw relative break in drone strikes in Amhara recently. I did not see any major drone strike, a strike on Fano, on suspects or close to Fano in recent days and weeks. So we know that the latest operation launched a few months ago was launched with heavy air support, and in this latest operation against Fano, which is ongoing, Ethiopian Air Force used its drones and jets for strikes on Fano fighters. And civilians were killed too in these strikes because of faulty intelligence and sometimes the collateral damage. Whenever a drone strike is conducted in the Amhara region, Fano sources say civilians have been killed. Not a single time has they confirmed, not a single time have they confirmed that Fano fighters have been killed. Military's official position is that only Fano fighters are being hit in these strikes and civilians are not dying, Fano fighters dying. Truth is in between. Fano fighter, the target, but sometimes civilians die too because of faulty intelligence and because of strikes which are precise and sometimes due to killed as collateral damage. Today's strike was conducted in North Shore zone of the Amhara region, where Shore Fano is operating. Ifrata Gidim is the name of the warrior. Zenbo is the name of the cabinet with this strike was conducted. We don't know what was the target. It seems that Shore Fano would be the target. But the video from the area shows several houses damaged. Were these houses being used by Fano fighters? Were they being used by civilians? By the way, it's difficult to distinguish between Fano fighters and ordinary civilians. They mingle. I mean, they fight at night and they mingle in the day. This is what all armed groups do, by the way. Tigray fighters did the same too. Ola does the same as well. Fano fighters use the strategy too, that they mingle up with people in the day and then they fight as well on the Fano side at night or whenever they can manage to escape. Uh, Shoa Fano says that 5 civilians were killed in this strike. The target was purely civilian. That government uh, thought Fano fighters were there, but actually civilians were there, and in this strike, only civilians were killed. We don't know. It's difficult to get information from the ground about the identity of victims. It's very difficult. But a clip for you showing the aftermath of this drone strike in North Shore Zone, Zambo. Watch the clip. Secondly, was is Ethiopia importing fertilizers from Egypt? Egypt and Ethiopia are arch rivals. They're at loggerheads over gold. Ethiopia calls Egypt its historical enemy. Egypt trying to corner Ethiopia by forming a regional alliance. Egypt wants a legally binding agreement about dam. It has been opposing the construction of GERD from day one. It could not. Now it is trying to involve the US government as well. So they are arch rivals. Egypt, uh, Egyptian military arriving in Somalia, Ethiopia opposing. Pictures are in circulation showing bags of fertilizer being imported in Ethiopia, which are made in Egypt. And secondly, some of these bags have expiry date, which shows the date has expired, that this fertilizer is expired. Pictures were shared by Takale Omabanti, who is head of Ethiopia Djibouti railway service, very close to PM Abiy. He's from the region of Ethiopia. Several people are questioning Takale Omabanti that why is that expired wheat is being distributed to farmers, firstly. Secondly, why is that wheat is being imported from Egypt? Takale Omabanti has removed pictures from his social media account. But he said that he wants to apologize. Pictures were old. I think he should make it clear. Is Ethiopia really importing fertilizer from Egypt or not? Which Ethiopian company is importing fertilizer? Is Ethiopia receiving fertilizer through some funding too by aid organizations? Because if aid organizations are providing fertilizer to farmers, obviously they can buy from anywhere. But no clarity so far. Takle Mabanti is saying the pictures were old, but questions are being raised. Should Ethiopia buy fertilizer from Egypt? Well, I think trade should not be discouraged. Uh, Ethiopia should buy whatever it can buy from Egypt and should sell to Egypt what it can. Because when economic ties are established, generally conflicts are averted. Economic ties matter more, I think. So trade should be encouraged, not discouraged between those countries which are not on good terms. Lastly, viewers, USAID is a warning that a large number of AIDS virus, HIV patients could die in Ethiopia if USAID programs are terminated. Donald Trump has almost disbanded USAID. Marco Rubio says that thousands of USAID employees are not needed, just over 200 can do the job. All USAID projects have been frozen. Will Trump government unfreeze them or not? It's not clear. Ethiopia is the second largest recipient of USAID in the world. It received over It received 1.6 billion US dollars through USAID in 2024. And some of the USAID projects are about provision of medicine to HIV patients. If this delivery of medicines to HIV patients stops, that could lead to deaths of large number of people. Take a listen to what USAID officials are saying about the catastrophe which we could see in Ethiopia as a result of suspension of USAID projects.
We have 5,000 public health worker contracts that are funded by U.S. assistance, and all of these in all regions of Ethiopia have been terminated. And 10,000 data clerks, very important in Ethiopia, so that we continue monitoring and ensuring that people are on treatment. So as UNAIDS, we estimate that if PEPFAR wasn't reauthorized between 2025 and 2029 and other resources were not found for the HIV response, there would be a 400% increase in AIDS death. That's 6.3 million people, 6.3 million AIDS-related deaths that will occur in future.